Lou, what is our fourth main topic today?
All right, our fourth main topic comes to us from Jeff Singer. Going into the weekend, film fans waited with bated breath to see what the Black Adam would do at the box office, and so far it's off to a decent start. The film opened to $67 million domestically with an overall global debut of $140 million, just a bit over the $135 million deadline had predicted. The question now is, what kind of legs will this movie have before Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, takes over the world in a couple of weeks? So, John, let me ask you, it certainly isn't the biggest comic book movie premiere of all time, but it's the biggest premiere box office of Dwayne Johnson's career. How significant is that?
Yeah, that's not insignificant, actually. Because you're right. Listen, Rob, you and I talk about this all the time, that we've become desensitized. It's stupid that we have, but we have. We become desensitized. We think, comic book movie, $1 billion. That doesn't happen often, okay? That is a incredible feat, and so people just kind of expect these huge opening weekend numbers. This one came out and made $67 million, which I believe makes it the biggest opening since July, since Thor Ragnarok came out. So that's pretty impressive in and of itself. This comes to us from the folks over at Rotten Tomatoes who wrote the following. Black Adam has opened with an estimated $67 million, and that's a great number for Dwayne Johnson because it's the best number that he has put up as a top billed talent. More than Hobbs and Shaw, which made $60 million opening weekend, Jumanji: The Next Level at $59.2 million, and San Andreas $54.5 million. That, of course, coming to us from Rotten Tomatoes. So when you take all the films that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, it's been his movie. None of the Fast and the Furious have been his movie. He's been a supporting actor in all those, other than Hobbs and Shaw, which he was definitively the lead. Out of all the films that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has done in his career, it is weird to think that $67 million, which is a good number, but that's the biggest he's ever had. When you think about the Rock franchise Viagra, box office, he's an injection of endorphins for box office, all that kind of stuff. I think it brings home a couple of points. Number one, that it's not that The Rock being in something automatically makes it a huge hit. It's that The Rock being in something means it's going to make more money than it would have without him. So I think that's the number one thing there. But being the biggest opening of any film that he's been the star of ever, that's not insignificant. That's a pretty significant thing. So kudos to it, number one, made good money and all that kind of stuff. Roughly made Aquaman money, and Aquaman went on after its opening weekend to make $1 billion at the box office, right? So that's not bad either. But at the same time, I don't think we should be getting terribly excited about $67 million. I mean, it's good. It's a solid number. Could be a good start point. And the fact that a lot of the audiences are like me, where it's like, yeah, we all acknowledge that it's a pretty dumb movie, but it's fun. I went to go see it again this weekend. The parts that bothered me even more, but the parts that I liked, I got even bigger reactions out of me. It is a fun time at the movies. And that's what you want when you go to see The Rock. But again, while $67 million, some people are going to try to paint this as a disaster. It's not. It's a good number, but it's not great. So let's take a look at actually the opening weekend box office for other DCEU, or not even DCEU movies, but DC movies. Let's take a look at this chart that we put together. Okay, so at $67 million, it means Black Adam, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is only the 11th biggest opening of a DC film. Of course, number one was Batman vs. Superman that opened to 166. The Dark Knight Rises at number 2 with 160. The Dark Knight at number 3 with 158. The Batman, which was out with Robert Pattinson, opened at 134 million. The Suicide Squad, which is the first one, not the James Gunn one, opened with 133.6. Oh, the James Gunn one would have loved to have opened with that much money. My favorite, of course, Man of Steel, opened at 116. Wonder Woman at number 7 with 103. That does it for all the films that opened under DC at over 100 million. Then we get into Joker at number 8, 96.2. And again, I want to point this out about this Joker number. That Joker number at 96.2, that movie made over $1 billion, right? Justice League opened at 93.8. Newsflash, that did not make $1 billion. But then we get to number 10, Aquaman, making 67.8 million, really almost identical to what Black Adam did. And that movie went on to make $1 billion. Are we saying that Black Adam is going to make $1 billion? Hell no, we're not saying that. But we're saying opening at 67 is not the worst. Then we rounded out Watchmen, made 55.2. Shazam, which I also dearly love, made 53.5 in its opening weekend. And of course, Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern made 53.1. So the bottom line is this. This is not a great opening. It's not great, but it's not bad. And it's the most significant one The Rock has ever had. And even though it's not great, some other DC properties have opened around that number and still gone on to do very, very well. And so I think if you're Dwayne The Rock Johnson right now and you're DC and Warner Brothers, you're sitting back and going, okay, not as big as we were hoping it could be, but not a bad start. When you consider the mess that the DCU seems to be in, every time we're talking about the DCU, it's about one controversy or another. It's Ezra this and that and whatever. I think you still got to be happy with this result. Anyway, Chris, you see this result, biggest of Dwayne The Rock Johnson's career as a lead. Mm-hmm. You saw where it's positioned with other DC openings. Yeah. How do you think Warner Brothers should feel about this result? Guys, we want to take a second to thank the sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month. And now for the plot twist. I'm just kidding. There isn't one. Mint Mobile just has premium wireless from $15 a month. There's no trapping you into a 2-year contract or opening the bill to find all these crazy fees. There's no luring you in with free subscriptions to streaming services that you'll forget to cancel and be charged full price for. With my old wireless provider, every month when I opened the bill, it was like playing roulette. I never knew how big the bill was going to be, and it always seemed to get bigger. With Mint Mobile, it's totally different. I know exactly how little I'm paying every month, and there's never any surprises. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or a family. And at Mint Mobile, families start at just 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And guys, you get to use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone number along with all your existing contacts. So transferring over couldn't be easier. So to get premium wireless from just $15 a month and no unexpected plot twists, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. You'll make your wallet very happy at mintmobile.com/Campea.
I mean, they should feel good and they should hope that it has legs, you know, because the critic review of this has not been great. And I have to say, I have not seen this film yet. I don't get to see it till Wednesday. My friend's been in Scotland. I'm going to go see it then Wednesday. But I think they should be really, really pleased with this. I don't think this is going to make Jumanji money if we're talking about Dwayne's career. I feel like this is going to kind of peter out. But for right now, I think this is a ringing endorsement that they have potential for this franchise. And maybe on the second one, we'll kind of clean up some of those things that I know weren't working for you in this.
Oh, yeah. There are some things that really don't work for me, like at all. Can I just say one thing? Okay, I'm not going to give context to this. So there's a prison for this real powerful being. Mm-hmm. And in all your wisdom, on the door of the prison, you write specific instructions about how to let them out. What?
A lot of people skip directions.
Yeah, that's true. You know what my favorite story about directions is? I have told this on the show before, but I'll say again, my favorite story about directions ever is a true story. There was a woman who was suing a contraceptive company because she had sex and got pregnant. And her argument, it was this. It was a jelly. And so she made toast and put the jelly on the toast and ate it, thinking that will prevent her from getting pregnant. And her argument in court was, when things are happening, when you're in the mood and things are happening, you don't have time to read instructions. To which the judge said on record, but you had time to make toast. So that's my favorite story about reading instructions.
That person has a baby now.
Yeah. That person is responsible for the life of a child now. Yes.
Oh, no.
Read instructions, folks. Anyway, no. Rob, you hear this result that Black Adam got. How should they take it?
Well, I think, first of all, aside from Suicide Squad on that list, but Suicide Squad had a large ensemble cast. You had Harley Quinn. You had Big Willie Style. Black Adam, no one knows who Black Adam is. I mean, some people do. Fans, everyone watching the show, I know we know who Black Adam is. But the audience in general, certainly the worldwide audience, Black Adam is a mystery. He's not Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Green Lantern. He's none of those people. And the fact that it opened was all credit due to Dwayne Johnson.
Yes.
And I think if Dwayne Johnson was playing a more marquee character, he would have had an even larger opening. But
if this was Dwayne Johnson playing Green Lantern
Yeah.
or something like this. This you're looking at 120, 130 million dollar opening.
Absolutely. So I think that for a character that's essentially unknown, this is a good result. And it clearly, Dwayne Johnson's star power made it the best result of his own career. So I would say that this is, and people like Dwayne Johnson, I think this is going to have repeat viewing because it's fun. And I think it's certainly going to do well foreign because, even the annoying character, the kid, maybe when he's subtitled, maybe it's not so annoying, or whatever. I think it's going to do well. I think this bodes well. And I'll tell you something else. I think this tees up an antagonist for Superman. That might be the most important thing again, because I'd love to see him come back and fight Superman, the big red cheese. Come on.
Well, I mean, and Dwayne Johnson's already come out and said publicly, I guarantee you we are making a Black Adam versus, not necessarily that the movie will
Superman
be called
and
Black
Shazam.
Adam versus Superman, but he said, I absolutely guarantee you we're getting Black Adam versus Superman on that. So that's already been kind of made public. So again, I think this result is good. Look, do I think when you look at something like Venom, right? Is this going to end up like Venom, which is very similar, not great on the critic response, but the audience was having a hell of a lot of fun with it,
Yep.
a lot of repeat viewing. Venom, of course, crossed 800 million. I don't suspect Black Adam will get 800 million, but all it has to make, it needs to make 500 million. If they can get to 500 million at the box office, then they're in profitability stages, and then everybody's happy. And I think it can get to 5. I think. But I don't think this is not going to be $1 billion movie. I don't think it's going to get $800 million. But if they can get to 5, I think they'll be happy.
And I do think it's interesting. You got Shazam, and the Shazam Marvel family, the Shazam family, coming up and bringing up the rear. So you've got a lot of potential here. I'm really excited for the next film in this series because I do consider this the second film in the Shazam family.
Right.
So, and then Fury of the Gods will be the third film, and then whatever Superman. So we're building a nice little. There's a legacy being built here that I think it's underneath that $1 billion radar, but I still think it could be interesting and continue on.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think about this? It comes out clearly number one by a mile at the box office, making $67 million at the box office, also making it Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's biggest opening of any film that he's been the main headliner in. But it's only like 11th when it comes to opening of DC films. Others close to it have made over $1 billion. What do you think about this? Should Warner Brothers be happy about this result, sad about it, content with it, excited about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.